Welcome to the channel. In this episode, we will bring Tempest to the table, more specifically, analyze the build for significant damage. It will be based on old and new essences as an alternative. We will also take a closer look at the most efficient mechanics and synergies. So let's get started. Before we move on to skills and essences, it is worth mentioning that in my opinion, the most important thing for a Tempest are legendary gems. Literally one legendary gem, Roiling Consequence, because Tempest is a very critical hit chance dependent class. And in addition, the Roiling Consequence burns enemies, which, combined with wind skills, provides us with a Firestorm. Therefore, this gem is a very integral part of the Tempest. Without it, there is no point in playing this class, in my opinion. Augment set might be alternative, but we actually need another set bonus. When it comes to the rest of the gems, PvE Wise Mother's Lament to further increase the critical hit chance won't be bad solution. Other gems are more optional, and in fact almost all versatile ones will be alright. For PvE I use configuration from my last video about Storm Vault, and I have to admit that burst damage is quite visible. It's also quite a versatile solution in case you want to change to a different class. That's why I wouldn't invest in gems like Concentrated Wool, because it has no use for most classes. With that being said, let's move on to the science behind the skills and essences. Starting with the primary attack, the best solution is obviously Wind Edge, mainly because this skill has really good essences to choose from. Therefore, with the essence of the main hand, Wind Edge now deals additional damage and reduces the armor of your target, which results in an increase in all damage dealt. It is worth mentioning the Tempest's passive skill as well. Along with the essence of offhand, after picking up the orb we get a bonus to the movement speed and attack speed. It greatly improves our mobility. Because the basic and passive skill are so strong for the Tempest, the next skills are intended to further improve it. Definitely the strongest skill for Tempest added to the normal attack and his clones is Crosswind. Such effect we achieve with offhand essence. Additionally, with the essence of the main hand, we get additional bonus damage during a critical hit. It is worth noting that this effect spreads to nearby enemies as well, and the more effective it is, the more critical chance we have. That's why legendary gems like Mother's Lament and Roiling Consequence are so important. Another skill that increases wind damage is Storm Fury. I don't use any essence to enhance this skill, but a magic affix seems to be necessary in this case. With this, not only we deal more damage, but we also receive bonus to increase the speed of our attack. It is worth mentioning that this skill also activates Firestorm even when using Wave Edge. Other members of our team also receive this effect. Taking into account a lot of attack speed buffs, the next skill must be Cascade. Along with Head Essence, the effect now works with primary attack, and with the essence of armor, you get an additional bonus to critical damage. And with the essence of armor, you get an additional bonus to critical damage. Another reason why building critical chance is so important. The last skill is Breaker. Along with the leg's essence, we have a dash with 2 charges. It is worth mentioning that we also receive some shield and create a Zephyr. So in my humble opinion, this skill works much better than Flowing Strike, and I prefer this option for creating Zephyrs and picking up orbs to get a buff. Additionally, with Shoulder's essence, we get a damage bonus after each use of the Breaker, so it's the perfect solution for increasing damage and generally improving mobility. With all that being said, this configuration is very convenient to play, but it is mainly based on old essences. The question is whether we can use the new ones, and it turns out that we can, but despite the higher damage, I found this build a bit less convenient. Nevertheless, it is still an alternative. In this case, Crosswinds is based on applying the bleeding effect from the leg's essence. The other essences remain the same. It should be noted that Crosswind should be applied first because it affects the effectiveness of the next skill. Obviously, it's a Squall. With the new main hand essence, all remaining bleed damage will be dealt immediately. And with the new armor essence, Squall will increase the damage dealt. You should use this skill while Crosswind is active. This way Squall won't get into cooldown. As for the remaining essences, Shoulders for an additional clone from Flowing Strike, and no second chance offhand to improve wind edge damage. I think it works better compared to new version with bleeding effect. Storm Fury remains exactly same as previously. When it comes to green set items, for both configurations I chose for pieces of Vithas and for pieces of Gloom Guides. I think that a relatively large number of beneficial effects and Ash skills to effectively use the bonuses from these set items. When it comes to Paragon points, then old Good Weaver, due to the additional critical chance bonus. With all that being said, we have reached the end of the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to stay up to date. As always, thanks for watching.